The Forest Vote. Deep inside the green and sunny whispering forest, animals lived together happily for many years. The rabbits hopped freely, the birds sang sweet songs, and the deer drank peacefully from the river. At the center of the forest stood a giant old banyan tree. Under its shade, the animals gathered whenever they had to make an important decision. One bright morning, Leo the lion roared loudly. "Friends," he announced, "our forest is growing bigger every day. We need stronger rules. From now on, we will make every decision by voting. Whatever most animals choose will become the rule for everyone." The animals clapped and cheered. "That sounds fair," said Mimi the monkey. "Yes, everyone gets a voice," chirped Pico the parrot. Only Tara the tortoise stayed quiet. She slowly raised her wrinkled head and said, "Voting is good, but we must also protect those who are fewer and weaker." Most animals did not understand her warning. "Oh, don't worry so much," laughed the monkeys. The forest began using votes for everything. They voted on when the river should be cleaned. They voted on where fruits should be collected. They even voted on the date of the annual forest dance. At first, everything went well, but one summer, food became scarce. The grass dried up, berries disappeared, and the river became smaller every day. Soon, the animals started worrying about food. One evening, the wolves whispered among themselves. "We are many," growled Racco the wolf. "Why should we struggle while others eat peacefully?" The foxes agreed. The hyenas nodded. The next morning, Rocco stood under the banyan tree. "I have a proposal," he said smoothly. "The rabbits and deer eat too much grass. We predators need more food to survive. I suggest that smaller animals give half of their food to us." The rabbits gasped in fear. "That's not fair," cried Bunty the rabbit. "We worked hard to collect our food," added the deer. But Rocco smiled cleverly. "Let us vote," he said. "Majority decides. The wolves, foxes, hyenas, and large cats together formed the biggest group in the forest." Tara the tortoise slowly stood up. "A vote should never hurt innocent animals," she warned. "Being many does not always make something right." But the louder animals shouted over her, "Vote! Vote! Vote!" The voting began. The predators raised their paws. The frightened rabbits and deer raised theirs against the rule, but they were too few. "The majority has spoken," roared Leo the lion. From that day onward, the smaller animals had to give away much of their food. The rabbits became thin. The deer grew weak. The squirrels struggled to feed their babies. Meanwhile, the stronger animals became greedy. A few weeks later, the wolves returned with another idea. "Since rabbits are small and fast," said Rocco, "they should spend their days gathering berries for everyone. That means they will have no time to eat or rest," cried Bunty. Again, Tara warned everyone. "When the powerful keep voting only for themselves, kindness disappears." But once again, the majority ignored her. The new rule passed. The rabbits worked from sunrise to sunset, while the larger animals relaxed under the trees. Soon, fear spread across the forest. Nobody spoke freely anymore, because the stronger animals always won the votes. One rainy night, Bunty the rabbit visited Tara the tortoise. "Why is this happening?" he asked sadly. "I thought voting was supposed to be fair." Tara sighed gently. "Voting is fair only when everyone cares about justice," she explained. "If the majority becomes selfish, it can turn into tyranny." "What is tyranny?" asked Bunty. "It means using power to control and hurt others unfairly," said Tara. Bunty lowered his ears. "So, what can we do?" Tara smiled wisely. "We must remind the forest that every creature matters, not just the biggest group." The next day, something unexpected happened. The river overflowed after heavy rain and flooded many animal homes. The wolves' cave filled with water. The foxes lost their stored food. The hyenas became stranded on muddy ground. But the rabbits and beavers quickly worked together to help everyone. The deer carried supplies on their backs. The birds guided lost animals to safety. Even after being treated unfairly, the smaller animals helped the others. Leo the lion watched silently. That evening, he called all the animals under the banyan tree again. "I have made a mistake," he admitted. "We believed that whatever the majority wanted must always be right. But we forgot something important." The forest grew quiet. The strong used their numbers to make unfair rules. Leo continued, "That is not true fairness." Rocco the wolf lowered his head in shame. Tara slowly stepped forward. "A good forest," she said softly, "protects everyone, especially the weak. Real justice is not about who has the loudest voice. It is about doing what is right." The animals listened carefully this time. From that day onward, the forest created a new rule. No vote could harm or unfairly burden another group. Every animal, big or small, would be protected equally. The rabbits no longer feared speaking up. The deer walked proudly again. And whenever an important vote happened, Leo would first ask, "Is this fair to everyone?" Years later, the animals still gathered beneath the great banyan tree. But now they remembered Tara's wisdom before raising their paws. Because they had learned that when the majority becomes selfish and powerful, kindness and justice can disappear. And a forest without justice can never truly live in peace. Moral of the story: majority should never use its power to treat others unfairly. True fairness protects everyone, even the smallest and weakest.